Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb makes a strong statement ahead of Packers game. Ever since the Dallas Cowboys were able to win 3 titles in the 90s, the storied franchise has struggled to get back to form as a perennial title contender, with the team always seeming to fail to live up to expectations in the NFL playoffs. Despite being stacked with talent on both sides of the football each and every year, the Cowboys fall short in the postseason and let down their fans around the world, leading to constant speculation about how the team can get back to the big game and win it all. Fortunately for Dallas, Dak Prescott and company will head into the NFL playoffs this year with as talented a team as the franchise has had in quite some time, with high hopes this team can finally go the distance in the postseason. Rising star CeeDee Lamb, who arguably put himself in the elite category of wide receivers in the NFL this season, was asked about the fans wanting a Super Bowl title more than the players, which didn't sit well with him, according to John Micah of The Athletic. With Lamb becoming one of the best players in the league this season and reaching his true potential, it's not all that surprising that he'd make a statement like this because he's not wrong. The players are the ones that play the game and put the work in to be the best team they can be. The real question moving forward is whether the Cowboys can finally live up to expectations while getting by the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC and beating the best of the best the AFC has to offer in the big game. Cowboys star Micah Parsons' interesting take on Dan Quinn departure speculation. Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn has found himself in the headlines a lot recently as Dallas prepares for its upcoming matchup with the Green Bay Packers in the wild-card round of the NFC playoffs. Quinn has been the architect of what has become one of the league's most consistent defenses since he took over as defensive coordinator in 2021, leading some to wonder whether he might opt to leave the Cowboys for a head coaching opportunity somewhere else this offseason. Recently, Cowboys defensive star Micah Parsons spoke on the speculation and why his focus is on the present and not the future. "It's the nature of the business," said Parsons, per John Micah of The Athletic on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. "It could possibly be my last ride with Q, and if it is, we're gonna make sure it's a damn good one. Dan is my guy, and if he does leave, it's always love. He might take me with him, you never know." Dan Quinn previously served as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, who made it to the Super Bowl during the 2016-17 season and authored the biggest collapse in the history of team sports when they got there. Still, there's no denying Quinn's talents as a defensive mastermind, dating back to his time with the Seattle Seahawks in the early 2010s. In any case, it seems that Micah Parsons is focused on making the most out of however much time Quinn has left in Dallas. Cowboys add explosive weapon for Dak Prescott in latest mock draft. Dak Prescott has had one heck of a season. Sure, the guy has had some bumps in the road in his career, and sure he has been an easy target for fans, but check the numbers. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback has 4,516 passing yards to go with 36 touchdowns and just 9 interceptions heading into his team's wild-card weekend playoff game at 4:30 p.m. Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. He has gotten it done with big seasons from CeeDee Lamb, who has emerged as one of the top pass catchers in the league with 135 catches for 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns, Brandon Cooks, who has 54 catches for 657 yards and 8 scores, and tight end Jake Ferguson, who has 71 catches for 761 yards and 5 touchdowns. Imagine if he had another big, explosive pass catcher. Well, you don't really have to imagine it because Fox Sports has done that for you in its latest mock draft. The site has the Cowboys taking North Carolina receiver Tez Walker in the first round, 30th overall. It notes that Walker is 6'2", 200 pounds and runs a sub 4.4 second 40. That sounds like the type of addition Cowboys fans could get hyped up about, and one the rest of the league would not like to see, too. Dak Prescott was the only QB with notable TD mark. After former offensive coordinator Kellen Moore left for the Los Angeles Chargers, the Dallas Cowboys offense was expected to take a hit. Head coach Mike McCarthy took over play-calling duties and his West Coast style-based offense had many wondering about how Prescott would perform. Prescott's average depth of target regressed from the previous season, and the Cowboys' offense seemed stuck in the mud for the first month of the 2023 NFL season. However, Prescott and McCarthy finally found a groove offensively and Dallas took off from there, reeling off win after win that eventually resulted in the number 2 seed in the NFC. Quarterback play across the league was relatively uneven, though Prescott proved to be one of the more consistent players at his position. In fact, Prescott led the league in touchdown passes and was the only player to record at least 35 of them via Pro Football Reference. Dak Prescott was the only player with 35-plus passing touchdowns this season. This is just the third NFL season since 2011 to have one player or fewer with 35-plus passing TDs. Scoring during the season was down as defenses buckled down, but Prescott and the rest of the offense was able to score at an efficient clip. Prescott had help in the form of CeeDee Lamb, who turned in a career year, but players like Brandon Cooks and Jake Ferguson also played their part in helping the quarterback lead the league in scores. Now, though, Dallas and Prescott must bring their high-octane offense into wildcard weekend where all eyes will be on them. Cowboys' Dak Prescott flaunts elevated confidence. Hints at Super Bowl run. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys finished their regular season strong en route to a NFC East title and the conference's second seed. But they have their sights set on something a little bigger, and Prescott thinks this team is capable of bringing some hardware back to Dallas. I don't know if I've had this much confidence or a greater feel than I've had with this offense, with this team, with our approach and how we're going to go and take care of things, Prescott told media members on Thursday, courtesy of ESPN's Todd Archer. Prescott was responding to a question about where his confidence level is in comparison to the previous 4 postseason trips he's made as a member of the Cowboys. The signal caller made clear that while he is always confident, that doesn't originate strictly from within himself. I always feel good about myself, a lot of self-talk. Yeah, it goes with the guys around me as well. The players around me. The coaches. The system we've created, the culture this team has. It's not just about how I feel about myself. It's about these other guys, the confidence they give me. Super Bowl or bust for Prescott, Cowboys? Judging by regular season numbers, Prescott is right to have a high degree of faith in this Cowboys team. CeeDee Lamb led the NFL in receptions and was second in receiving yards. RB Tony Pollard hit the 1,000-yard rushing mark for the second straight season, good for 12th in the NFL. And Dan Quinn's defense finished as the 5th-ranked unit by DVOA. Dallas also finished 10th in special teams, and 9th on offense, demonstrating how well-rounded this team is. But Prescott and company have entered the playoffs with high expectations only to flame out in the past. Until their team is on a podium with Roger Goodell holding a Vince Lombardi trophy, Cowboys fans will be tough to please.